General Hospital spoilers. Kristina vandalizes Ava's car, the unexpected accident, and Elizabeth's tragic death. Port Charles is about to be rocked by a shocking chain of events that will leave fans in disbelief. What begins as a simple act of revenge spirals into an unthinkable tragedy that will change lives forever. Kristina Corinthos Davis' frustration reaches a breaking point, leading her to make a terrible mistake, one that ultimately sets in motion an accident that claims the life of Elizabeth Weber. Kristina's growing resentment toward Ava. Kristina has been riding high lately, throwing herself into her work with the youth shelter and growing closer to Blaze. However, underneath the surface, old resentments toward Ava Jerome have begun to fester once again. Despite years of trying to let go of her mother Alexis' past with Ava and the subsequent bad blood between their families, Kristina has never truly forgiven Ava for the damage she caused. The final straw comes when Kristina overhears a private conversation between Ava and Sunny. Ava, once again, appears to be manipulating Sunny, playing the victim and worming her way further into his life. Kristina, fiercely loyal to her father, sees Ava as nothing but a dangerous distraction. With Ava getting closer to Sunny, Kristina fears she's pushing Nina further out of the picture. Ava's involvement in Sunny's affairs has always been a thorn in Kristina's side, but now, she feels it's time to make a statement. Fueled by anger and impulsivity, Kristina hatches a reckless plan. Vandalizing Ava's car, a decision that can't be undone. In the dead of night, Kristina sneaks into the Jerome Gallery's parking lot, where Ava's sleek black luxury car is parked. She hesitates for only a moment before grabbing a tire iron and smashing the windshield. The loud crack shatters the silence, sending her adrenaline surging. Not stopping there, she drags the sharp end of the tool across the side of the vehicle, carving deep scratches into the paint. As Kristina finishes her act of vandalism, she hears footsteps approaching and quickly flees, unaware that her reckless actions will have far-reaching consequences. Ava, stepping out of the gallery moments later, is stunned to find her car defaced. Furious, she immediately assumes a rival sent a message, but she has no idea just how personal this attack truly is. The chain reaction, an unthinkable tragedy. The following morning, Ava is livid and decides to have her car towed to an auto shop. However, in the chaos, a mechanic fails to properly secure the brakes while preparing to load the car onto the tow truck. At the same time, Elizabeth Weber is walking nearby after a shift at General Hospital. Distracted by a message from Finn, she doesn't notice the tow truck driver struggling with the car. Suddenly, the unsecured vehicle begins rolling backward, directly toward her. People nearby scream as the car picks up speed. Elizabeth looks up just in time, but it's too late. The impact is devastating as she is struck head-on and thrown violently onto the pavement. The force of the collision leaves her motionless, and the onlookers quickly call for help. Elizabeth's fight for survival. Elizabeth is rushed to General Hospital in critical condition, with Finn, Laura, and her sons by her side. The doctors work tirelessly to stabilize her, but the damage is severe: internal bleeding, head trauma, and multiple fractures. Finn refuses to leave her side, his face etched with agony as he watches the woman he loves slip away. Cam, Jake, and Aiden are devastated, struggling to comprehend the unthinkable possibility that they might lose their mother. Laura, always a source of strength, holds them close, trying to provide comfort despite her own grief. Despite the doctor's best efforts, Elizabeth's injuries prove too severe. In a heartbreaking moment, Finn is forced to make the agonizing decision to let her go. Holding her hand, he whispers words of love as her heart monitor slows and then flatlines. The hospital falls silent as a beloved nurse, mother, and friend takes her last breath. Port Charles reacts to Elizabeth's death. The news of Elizabeth's passing spreads like wildfire through Port Charles. Friends and family gather in mourning, struggling to process the tragedy. Laura vows to find out exactly what led to this horrible accident. Finn is inconsolable, his grief turning into self-destructive anger. Cameron returns home from college, blaming himself for not being there when his mother needed him. Jake and Aiden are left shattered, facing life without the woman who had always been their anchor. Sam, distraught over her sister's involvement in the events leading up to the accident, confronts Kristina. When Kristina learns what happened, she is overwhelmed with guilt. She never intended to cause real harm. She only wanted to send a message to Ava. Now, her impulsive act of vandalism has indirectly set off a catastrophic event. Sunny, furious at the senseless tragedy, demands to know who is responsible. Ava, devastated by the loss of Elizabeth and burdened by the realization that her car was involved, demands answers as well. When Kristina finally confesses, it sends shockwaves through her family. Kristina's guilt and the aftermath. Overcome with remorse, Kristina struggles with the weight of what she has done. Alexis, torn between protecting her daughter and seeking justice for Elizabeth, encourages Kristina to come forward. But will Kristina face charges for her role in the accident? Meanwhile, Finn vows revenge, seeking answers about how Ava's car came to hit Elizabeth. If he learns of Kristina's involvement, will he be able to forgive her? Or will this spark a new war in Port Charles? Ava, reeling from the tragedy, must also face her own guilt. If she had never been so deeply entangled in Sunny's life, would any of this have happened? As Port Charles grieves the loss of one of its most beloved figures, one question lingers. Will Kristina be able to live with herself after the consequences of her actions? Or will her guilt drive her to a breaking point? What's next for Port Charles? Elizabeth's death will leave a lasting impact, shaking up relationships, friendships, and long-standing rivalries. As Finn spirals and Kristina struggles to make amends, the people of Port Charles will have to navigate the fallout of this heart-wrenching tragedy. With emotions running high, expect tensions to explode in the weeks to come. Secrets will be exposed, alliances will shift, and lives will never be the same again. One thing is certain, Port Charles will not forget the day Elizabeth Weber lost her life. Stay tuned for more General Hospital spoilers as the drama unfolds.